second. Alright. Well, no, we can't hear anybody. You got a comment, you just leave it on the comment board. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. We start this off by giving all honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Wahakudash Rakah.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the faithful elect, those slated to be saved from the destruction that's been declared from the beginning in the Bible that happened to America, which is code-named in the Bible as the daughter of Babylon, and is under many different aliases as well. Primarily that one, Egypt as well too, but the destruction is written to happen in different parts of the globe as well, but primarily here, to all of it. And it's going to come upon all the wicked inhabitants thereof as well. But nonetheless, those slated to be saved being none other than the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, so-called blacks, aka Negroes. The men teaching the truth, this truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who people ignorantly call God and Christ, and the men, women, and children that have turned back to their heritage and are in this truth and the faith of the God of the Bible, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, according to their works. All right? So to you, Shalom. So we're going to go into the third temple. It's something that's always been, it's still being talked about. It's always been being talked about. And it ain't, I can't say it's nothing new, but just off the sense that it has yet to be declared by the Heavenly Father, co-sign. But starting with our elders on down to the men you see, now, we bring it out through the Spirit. So yeah, let's go ahead and start, kick it off with that one you got right there. First Kings 8, 13. Let me see. Yeah, go ahead.
It's 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 13. I have surely built thee an house to dwell in.
Yeah, so it's talking about David passing it on to Solomon. Solomon went on and built the temple of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And then pretty much, go ahead and get the history together. Yeah, so he built the first temple. And then the second temple came when it was trodden down. It was destroyed by the heathens. And it had to be rebuilt by Nehemiah, Ezra, and all of them. And the governor they appointed during that time, forget his name, they have it in the scriptures that's under the letter J, I think it's Joab or something like that. He was a governor. Pretty much they went back to rebuild the temple. But these are physical temples. You see what I'm saying? This is a physical temple that Solomon was talking about here. Go ahead. So it's the first making of it. Come on.
1 Kings 8 and 13.
Come on.
I have surely built thee an house to dwell in.
Yep.
A settled place for thee to abide in forever.
Who's the thee? He's talking about the Most High, Yahweh. Come on.
And the king turned his face about and blessed all the congregation of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And all the congregation of Israel stood. And he said, Blessed be the Lord Yahweh, the power of Israel, which spake with his mouth unto David my father, and hath with his hand fulfilled it, saying, Since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build an house, that my name might be therein. But I chose David to be over my people, Israel.
See that? Keep going.
And it was in the heart of David,
Yep.
my father, to build an house for the name of the Lord, Yahweh,
See,
power of Israel.
now, if you just listen to what it just said, he never chose no place. He chose David. You see what I'm saying? He chose he chose his mind. You see, he chose David. He chose the Spirit. You see what I'm saying? Read that part one time, the last verse.
But I chose David to be over my people, Israel. And it was in the heart of David.
No, you gotta read the whole thing.
Whole thing's like 1 Kings chapter 8 and 16. Since the day that I brought forth my people, Israel, out of Egypt, I chose no city.
He chose no city. Go ahead.
Out of all the tribes of Israel to build an house, that my name might be therein.
Yeah, he chose no city to build a house for his name to be at. Like it wasn't a grand opening, like a damn, the Michael Jordan restaurant. It wasn't something like that. You can come to Chicago and it's here. Go ahead.
Right. But I chose David.
He just chose David. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
To be over my people Israel.
Real quick, hold what's that? Hosea 9 and 11.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go right to that. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, go straight to it.
Go ahead. It's
It's
Hosea chapter 9, verse 11. It says, as for Ephraim, their glory shall fly away like a bird, from the birth, and from the womb, and from the conception.
Where you at, Hosea? So like, give me Amos.
This is Amos chapter 9, verse 11. It says, in that day,
Yep, in that day, come on.
will I raise up the tabernacle of David.
See there? So there you go. Why? Because ultimately, we're builders, man. You see what I'm saying? Give me 1 Corinthians 3 and 9 real quick. See that? So that's how we jump back. And we're gonna go back to the history real quick, and then we're gonna build our way back up. Just to show it. 3 and 9.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9, it says, for we are laborers together with the Most High. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building.
There you go. We're the building. So that's why he never chose no city with no, you know what I'm saying? He didn't need the big thing in front to cut the, you know what I'm saying, cut the scissors, the grand opening. He didn't need that. That didn't even happen. You see what I'm saying? You go ahead and jump back to the Kings.
This is 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 16. Since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build an house, that my name might be therein.
See, that didn't happen. Come on.
But
I
chose David.
He chose David. See that? Because David represented something. Come on.
To be over my people Israel.
Because when you're in the house, what's over you? The house. You see what I'm saying? So David will be over us like a house. See that? Go ahead.
And it was in the heart of David, my father, to build an house.
It was in the heart of David. You see? Go ahead.
To build a house.
Now, ultimately, the father controls the mind. Because David was the king. You see what I'm saying? I tell you that in Proverbs, the 21st chapter. The heart of the king is in the hand of the Most High, man. He turned it like the waters, whithersoever he willeth, man. But nonetheless, he was just using that. He put that on David for David to bring something symbolic to show. You see what I'm saying? The intricacy of if we did go through, if I did have a house built, you see what I'm saying, for me to dwell in, how prestige would it be? You see what I'm saying? Because you could read about that in 1 Kings, the 10th chapter, I believe, and he goes on the 10th or 11th chapter when Solomon goes on to actually get it built and whatnot. And matter of fact, it's the 7th chapter. I take that back. That's when he was building, and you can get the all the details, man. Like everything was laid out with gold. Like the Lord did build a house. He gonna go all the way in. You see what I'm saying? That's the only reason why all this even happened. But what was it actually representing? You see what I'm saying? Before I even jump to that, also the step-by-step just detailing the Lord will do. Like if I'm gonna build me a house, it's gonna be very, you see what I'm saying? It's gonna be steps to it. It's gonna be layered with the very pieces I need. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate the things the Lord truly value. You see what I'm saying? Or the things the Lord esteems as value. Not what man esteems as value. You see what I'm saying? But what the Lord esteems as value. You're not gonna find no plasterboard in the Lord's temple, man. You're gonna find something that He made that's forever. That's why you can go to the ruins now back in Israel, and it's still, the blocks are still there. You see what I'm saying? Even though all the temples are ruined, not temples, but like the palaces and stuff like that are ruined, the damn material still, you see what I'm saying? After all, that was thousands of years ago. You see what I'm saying? So how much you think some plasterboard was still, heck, you know, man. It would be burnt up in ashes. You see? So the Lord, He put that on David for David to ultimately show when the time would come, hence the third temple, to be built up. You would be able to go back to that time and you would be able to relate it. You see what I'm saying? All it was a similitude. Real quick, since we going into it, go ahead and go to the 7th chapter, 1 Kings 7, just to show something. You got it? Start at 1. Kings 7:1.
1 Kings chapter 7, verse 1. But Solomon was building his own house 13 years.
See, so now come on, man. That's Solomon. Solomon was the king. You don't think the Lord gonna lay his out? Keep going. But that's showing you if you're gonna build something, you of power. Ain't you gonna lay it out? Ain't you gonna truly? Ain't it gonna really be about something? You see what I'm saying? You gonna try to make it as deep as possible. You know. Go ahead.
But Solomon built his own house 13 years.
To show your taste. Come on.
And he finished all his house.
And ultimately, I'm going to just what they call it, I'm going to just tell you the end now. Basically, we the temple, man. You see what I'm saying? We're the temple. The Lord really finna show His taste by the end of by the time we get out of here, and give you an idea of how it's going to be by the end of this lesson. Go ahead.
He built also the house of the forest of Lebanon. The length thereof was 100 cubits, and the breadth thereof 50 cubits.
Now, mind you, this is Solomon's house. All right? This is his own house. Now, we go ahead and finish that.
And the height thereof 50 cubits, upon 4 rows of cedar pillars, with cedar beams upon the pillars. And it was covered with cedar above upon the beams that lay on 45 pillars, 15 in a row. And there were windows in 3 rows.
See, and it was three rows of windows, man. Come on.
And light was against light in 3 ranks.
See that? And he had the lights all arranged. You know, if you could visualize a chandelier down there, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And all the doors and posts were square. With the windows.
So he had more to this. Is his house. He had hella doors, man. You see what I'm saying? Your average house probably got what, like 2-3 doors? You know what I'm saying? So he had something completely. He had something off the chain, man. You see what I'm saying? That's the level. A king would be living in. Matter of fact, real quick. This is Ecclesiastes. And I want to get another one too. Give me Isaiah in the 32nd chapter. And jump down to palaces. Should be in there. If not, just let me know. This is Ecclesiastes Salaki. This is Ecclesiastes 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. I said in my heart, this is Solomon. I said in my heart, these are his writings from that time we're reading about. You see? This is Solomon chapter 2. So when he was building Solomon, he was the wisest man to ever live, and he wrote a lot. So we're going to hear his innermost thoughts during that, probably, from that time. But anyway, he was building that crazy house, man. Ecclesiastes 2 and 1. I said in my heart, meaning mine, go to now. I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure. And behold, this also is vanity. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 3. I sought in my heart to give myself unto wine, yet acquainting my heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, which they should do under the heaven, meaning the sky, all the days of their life. Listen, I made me great works. I builded me houses. So Solomon had multiple houses, man. See that? He had estates. It says, I planted me vineyards. I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees, and so I could in them all kinds of fruits. I made me pools of waters. So he had all type of like I said, estates, man. It says to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. So he had probably all type of trees being imported, which he did, because they was using that. The trees was being imported for the temple. Now, real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this last verse. This is verse 7. I got me servants and handmaids, and had servants born in my house. And I had great possessions of great and small cattle, above all that were in Jerusalem before me. You see that? I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings, and of the provinces I gat me singers and women singers, and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So yeah, it says, so I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me. So yeah, Solomon, he had everything, man. You got the palaces? Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 32 and 13.
Now mind you, this is a man. Go ahead.
It says, upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars.
Yep.
Yeah, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city.
So we had plenty houses. We had cities. Go ahead.
Because the palaces.
Because the what?
The palaces.
Come on.
Shall be forsaken.
We had palaces, man. You see what I'm saying? You go ahead and finish that.
The multitude of the city shall be left. The forts and towers shall be.
We had forts. We had towers. Now, these are lower level Israelites. This Solomon, and these are just regular Israelites right here. See what I'm saying? We're very, that's why Jake ball out when they get a chance. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The forts and towers shall be for dens forever.
Yeah, they dens now. All type of animals living in them. Go ahead and get Isaiah 55 and 8. Isaiah 55 and 8. Now, this is just to prove a point. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
Jump up to 7.
You
gotta read up a little bit more.
Isaiah chapter 55, verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts.
Okay. See, so you got, just giving you context on who's talking right now. Go ahead.
And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him.
Go ahead.
And to our God, our power.
Come on.
For he will abundantly pardon.
Good.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
So these are the most high thoughts. He's talking about his own thoughts. Go ahead.
Neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
So if Israelites' ways don't really match up to the Most High's in other words, that's pretty much the whole point. Go ahead.
It says, for as the heavens,
you got 3 heavens. You got the first one you look up to when you go outside, and the one above that one, outer space. Then you got the abode of the Most High and the angels. Yahushua. Go ahead.
For as the heavens
where Yahushua at? Go ahead.
are higher than the earth,
come on.
So are my ways higher than your ways.
So you can't do it bigger and better than the Lord. You see what I'm saying? That's what you do. You see? You're going to go get the pools and, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. The Lord, like, I made it, but if I'm going to build me something, it's going to be something much, you know, he said it's as high as the heavens, man. You know, matter of fact, let me get Job 11:7 real quick. And then we're going to go back to that 1 Kings. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the lesson.
This is Job chapter 11, verse 7. It says, canst thou by searching find out?
Shalom, how about Shalom? Go ahead.
Canst thou by searching find out God?
Yeah.
Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection?
Come on.
It is as high as heaven.
See, the Lord he up there, man. His taste is up there. The way he ball out and, you know, drop the bag is unfathomable. Go ahead.
It says, what canst thou do?
The way he could deck something out is unfathomable. Come on. He said, what canst thou do? Come on.
Deeper than hell, what canst thou know?
Yeah, the Lord is deeper than hell, man. You trying to have the deepest home? Well, I built this just in case. You know what I'm saying? Lord, that ain't nothing, man. That's why he ain't choose no city. He said, I chose David, because the Lord is gonna he finna do, and we just found out we the temple. We're the building. We're the Lord's building. So what was the Lord? Look at Satan. Huh? I don't know what the hell just happened. The damn shit just cut off.
It's showing that it's froze.
No, my hotspot cut off. What the hell just happened? So Laki, go ahead, brother.
This is Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 7. It says, canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou out the Almighty unto perfection?
Can't thou search out?
Canst thou find out the Almighty unto perfection? So like,
go ahead.
It is as high as heaven.
Come on.
What canst thou do?
Mm-hmm.
Deeper than hell.
Yep.
What canst thou know?
Come on.
The measure thereof is longer than earth.
Yeah. Woo, man. So the Lord.
That's crazy.
You know?
And broader than the sea.
See? You think they got the big house. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now let's go ahead and go back to that 1 Kings. What would the Lord really have to, what is he really trying to prove then? If he didn't choose a city, but yeah, he still put it in David's heart to build that. Go ahead and bring that scripture up. Proverbs 21. 21 and 1. Proverbs. Go ahead and bring it out. Just so you can hear that point. Because the Lord, he do this, man. Go ahead.
This is Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Because David was the king. And David could do what he wanted. You know, go ahead.
As the rivers of water,
yep.
He turneth it whithersoever he will.
Yep. So there you go, man. The Lord told, because he, real quick, give me Job 33. And jump to like 11. Yeah. Started 13.
This is Job chapter 33, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Why dost thou strive against him? For he giveth not account of any of his matters.
Started 12.
Job chapter 33, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, in this thou art not just.
Come on.
I will answer thee.
Mm-hmm.
That God,
the Most High, come on,
is greater than man.
See, the Most High is greater than man. Continue with the theme. Come on.
Why dost thou strive against him?
Come on.
For he giveth not account of any of his matters.
Come on.
For the Most High speaketh once, yea, twice,
come on,
yet man perceiveth not.
Yep. Now how he speak, come on.
In a dream,
come on,
in a vision of night, of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed,
he do what?
Then he openeth the ears of men.
And do what?
And sealeth their instruction.
So the Lord put that on David to do that. Now why would he do that? You see what I'm saying? Because he already said he didn't choose a city, but he chose David. But yet David, it was in his heart.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He controlled the heart of man. You see that? He searched the reins. You know, he tried the heart, man. Why? Because he was proving the point with letting David set that temple up. You know what I'm saying? And having Solomon fulfill it. You know? You got it.
Back to 8.
Yep.
This is 1 Kings chapter 8. Go to verse 16. It says, Since the day that I brought forth my people Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build a house, that my name might be therein. But I chose David to be over my people, Israel. And it was in the heart of David, my father, to build a house for the name of the Lord Yahweh, the power of Israel. And the Lord Yahweh said unto David, my father, whereas it was in thine heart to build.
In whose heart?
It was in thine heart.
Come on.
To build an house.
To do what?
To build an house.
Come on.
Unto my name.
See that?
Thou didst well that it was in thine heart.
See that? He said he was smart for doing that. You know, you want to show me love, do something holy for me. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and jump to chapter 6. You can start at 1.
This 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 418th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt,
Yep.
in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the Mount Ziph, which is the 2nd month, that he began to build the house of the Lord.
Keep going.
And the house which King Solomon built for the Lord, the length thereof was 60 cubits.
See?
And
So Solomon, he built the Lord house first, which is this one. And then he goes to his house. Well, go ahead.
And the breadth thereof 20 cubits.
Yep.
And the height thereof 30 cubits. And the porch before the temple of the house 20 cubits was the length thereof, according to the breadth.
In the what? In the porch.
And the porch.
Come on, before the what?
Before the temple.
Of the what?
Before the temple of the house.
Of the what?
The temple of the house.
Of the what?
Of the house.
There you go. Remember that. Of the house. Come on.
20 cubits
Yep.
was the length thereof,
Yep.
according to the breadth of the house. And 10 cubits was the breadth thereof before the house.
Now, go ahead. You're going to have to finish that.
Con. No, that was it. Unless you want me to keep going to
No, jump down to 7.
Con.
Sure.
1 Kings chapter 6, verse 7. And the house.
And the what?
And the house,
See, come on.
when it was in building, was built of stone.
Ooh, see that? Was built of what?
Of stone.
Yep.
Made ready before it was brought thither.
Yep.
So that there was neither hammer, nor axe, nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building.
Why? Give me Exodus 20. Give me the last verse.
Con.
Just call it.
26.
It says, you need to shot that up, bro.
Yeah. Jump up. Let me see. Jump up to 23. Matter of fact, nah, just get the point. 24.
Con. This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 24. An altar.
Bring that word up. Straight up.
Con.
What's the word? Meaning?
An altar.
Yeah.
So an altar.
You got it?
No, that's eight. You can Google
I got it.
Con.
Go ahead and read that again.
Con. 24.
Exodus.
Exodus chapter 20 and 24. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me.
So an altar, you got Mazabah or Mazbah. Yeah, okay. Slaki.
Altar.
So it says the table in a Christian church at which the bread and wine are consecrated in communion services. A table or flat top block used as the focus for a religious ritual, especially for making sacrifices or offerings to a deity. So it comes from the Latin word alterium, meaning high, and also the Latin adolere, which means to richly burn or sacrifice. All right. So you go ahead and read that scripture one more time, brother.
Come on. Exodus chapter 20 and 24. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings.
Yeah. So the Lord, you're not finna put together no man-made, table. It's of earth. You see what I'm saying? And it could be of any resource of the earth. Go ahead. That he, appointed.
It says, in thy peace offerings, thy sheep,
Come on.
and thy oxen, in all places where I record my name,
See?
I will come unto thee,
Yep.
and I will bless thee.
Yep. Give me Acts 7:48 real quick, and then go back to that. What was that? Kings. Yep.
Acts chapter 7 and 48.
Yep.
Sorry, I got it.
Go ahead.
Acts chapter 7, verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
Yeah, man. So that is just that clear. Go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Kings chapter 6. No, it's a lot. Back to 8. Hop back to 6 or 8. It's a lot.
Where you at? Let me see. Time is up. What you last?
Last thing I read was 3.
It was in 1 Kings 6, verse
7.
7.
Yeah. Verse 7. You go ahead and bring it out.
1 Kings chapter 6, verse 7. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone made ready.
All right, slow down one more time. There's everything in that. Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 6 and 7.
Come on.
And the house,
Yep.
when it was in building,
And the what?
and the house,
Go ahead.
when it was in building,
When it was in building. You see that? Come on.
was built of stone,
Of what?
of stone.
Give me 1 Peter 2 and 5. Jump straight there. You see that? Because really, this really could be a quick lesson.
Come on.
Let him bring it up. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2 and 5. Ye also, as lively stones,
See, ye also as lively stones, man. Come on.
are built up
Yep.
a spiritual house.
It's that. See that? All it was a similitude. That's all it was. Now, those stones went on to make an illustrious house, man. You see what I'm saying? You can't make it up. One more time on that, brother. Matter of fact, yeah, one more time and then jump back. Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2 and 5, it says, ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house.
You see? There you go. I got something real quick. This is Jeremiah 7 and 4. I'm going to hold it. Yeah, I'm going to hold it. Go ahead and jump back.
Yep. 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 7. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone made ready before it was brought thither.
See that? All right. Okay, now go ahead and so pretty much we're in building right now, man. You see that? Because if we could receive it by the Spirit, that Yahushua, he's solid. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead and go to give me Psalms, the 72nd chapter, real quick, just to show something. Because it's Solomon talking. Psalm 72, and let me see if you got it. Start at 1. Okay, you ain't got it on yours. Now when you read this, it says a song for Solomon. So this is Solomon. Okay. Go ahead.
Psalm chapter 72, verse 1. Give the king thy judgments, O God.
You see, give the who?
Give the king thy judgments. O God, and thy righteousness unto the king's son.
You see? Now, who's the king? The king is David, and who's the king's son? Solomon. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
He shall judge thy people with righteousness.
Now, how the hell is it going to be if Solomon gone already? You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And thy poor with judgment.
This is talking about David and Solomon. Solomon is gone already. He's not ready to come back and do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But he is, because we know there's such thing as reincarnation. So who would Solomon have to be? He would be Yahushua. Now, real quick, because this ain't even to prove that. This is just to show this part. Give me verse. Give me verse. Give me 10. Give me 10. Good.
Come. Psalm chapter 72 and 10. The kings of Tarshish and of the isles shall bring presents.
Now this is where the Lord was getting these. See, it's spiritual. This is where the Lord was getting these pieces to build His house. You see what I'm saying? Now, what does that remind you of? If we the pieces that we're gonna be, if we're used as the pieces, what is that talking about? That's talking about scattered Israelites, man. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The kings of Sheba and Seba.
Sheba and Queen Sheba is who came to Solomon and gave him, you know, all the goods she gave him to hear his wisdom. Go ahead.
Shall offer gifts. Yeah,
as it says. Now, but this the only issue with this. Keep going.
It says, yea, all kings shall fall down before him.
See that? Go ahead.
All nations shall serve him.
See? Come on.
For he shall deliver the needy when he crieth.
That's Yahweh Shah, man. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The poor also. And him.
What verse you in?
12.
No. Jump to That's it. That's cool. Let's go ahead and jump back to yeah, let's go ahead and jump back to 1 Kings.
1 Kings chapter 6, verse 7. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone, made ready before it was brought thither.
Yeah, because Solomon, the temple gone. You see what I'm saying? The temple is gone right now. But Solomon was said to come and build this house, man. And sit upon the throne, man. You see? How is that? Now, how can that be possible if Solomon gone and the temple gone? You see what I'm saying? Only person that can fit that is Yahweh Shah. The only way that would be possible is that's it. Now, how will Yahweh Shah be building? Because there's so many places, there's so many, we can go. Just keep going. I don't want to jump again. Go ahead.
It says, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building.
Yeah, because that's the commandment. See that? That's what we just read. He said, go back to that real quick. 72 and 1.
Psalm chapter 72, verse 1. It says, give the king thy judgments.
See that?
O God.
See that?
And thy righteousness unto the king's son.
There you go. Now go ahead and jump back. So that's on King David and Solomon. Come on.
1 Kings chapter 6 and 7. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone made ready before it was brought thither, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building. The door for the middle chamber was in the right side of the house, And they went up with the winding stairs.
Now, real quick, let's jump to chapter 5. Jump to chapter 5 and give me verse 2.
Con. 1 Kings chapter 5 and 2. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying,
Go ahead.
Thou knowest how that David, my father, could not build an house unto the name of the Lord, Yahweh,
Why?
his God, for the wars which were about him on every side.
Because he had blood on him. You know, blood defiles. Go ahead. See, because during Solomon's time, it was peace. You see that? That's once again showing you Yahweh Shah. Come on.
Unto the Lord Yahweh put them under the soles of his feet.
And that could take you to Psalms, the 110th chapter, in the first verse. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
But now the Lord Yahweh, my God, hath given me rest on every side, so that there is neither.
Because he wasn't no war during Solomon's time. Once again, similar to for something else. Yahweh Shah. Come on.
So there is neither adversary.
People ignorantly call Jesus, by the way. Go ahead.
So there is neither adversary nor evil occurring.
Yeah, because can't nobody oppose. Couldn't nobody oppose Solomon. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And behold,
Once again, it's similar to something further. Go ahead.
and behold, I purpose to build an house unto the name.
I propose. Come on.
I propose to build an house unto the name of the Lord.
Who proposes?
I.
See that? Because David couldn't do it. See that? Go ahead.
I
So
propose.
Solomon had to do it, his son. That's why he said, give judgment to the king and give the righteousness unto his son. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I propose to build a house.
Because he going to do it the right way.
Right.
And then that show you right there, if this King David thought the physical way, he wanted to build a real house. Okay, cool. Judgment, all right. If you're going to do it, you can't do it with things made of, you know what I'm saying? That's not made of the earth. But he said, give the righteousness. What is righteousness going to? Just right. You see what I'm saying? He said, give that to his son. So his son will actually build it the right way. That would just simply that would simply just be not having anything to do with, you know, a so-called building.
Right.
But what the Lord actually chose, which was the house of David. You see what I'm saying? And what is the house of David? That seed line that represents him. You see what I'm saying? Those particular Israelites that represent him. Right? But Solomon couldn't see that far. You see what I'm saying? But it's just to show you. David thought this way. David represented this part. Solomon represented the right way. But ultimately, the right way will be given to Yahweh Shah. Because to begin with, you're not going to make a building out of anything that's not of the earth. But if you're going to really do it the right way, you're going to use the house of David. You see what I'm saying? And only Solomon will be able to do that because he's the only one that have the right way to do it. But Solomon not here no more. You see what I'm saying? So how will it be fulfilled? Go ahead.
It says, and behold, I propose to build a house unto the name of the Lord Yahweh.
Yep. I propose or purpose. Come on.
Unto the name of the Lord Yahweh, my God, my power. As the Lord spake unto David, my father.
Come on.
Saying, thy son, whom
Hold on. Whose son?
Thy son.
Come on.
Whom I will set upon thy throne.
See, upon thy throne. And that's legacy. That's riches. That's a whole other thing. The throne of David. Come on. The throne and mercies of David. Sure mercies of David. Come on.
In thy room.
You see, in thy room, meaning stead. Come on. Stay. Come on.
He shall build a house unto my people, into my name.
See that? He gonna build the house. Not you, David. You got two blades. Come on.
Now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon.
So the Lord like, this is what I want. You see what I'm saying? He wants cedar. See that? Come on.
And my servants shall be with thy servants. And unto thee will I give hire for thy servants according to all that thou shalt appoint.
Now, this is Solomon saying this to Hiram. You see that? But real quick, give me Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 16. And we really gonna keep this short because it really ain't been that drawn out, man. You know, go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 16.
Yeah.
It says, For in his hand are both we and our words.
For in whose hand?
For in his hand,
Meaning the Most High's, come on,
are both we and our words.
So Solomon's talking, but it's the Lord. You see what I'm saying? He's like, yo, I want this. You see that? Come on.
All wisdom also.
See that? And this is from Solomon himself. You got it.
And knowledge of workmanship.
See that? All right.
So it says, 1 Kings chapter 5 and 6. It says, now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servants shall be with thy servants. And unto thee will I give hire for thy servants, according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like unto the Sidonians.
See that? Hew what?
Hew timber.
See that? Come on.
Like unto the Sidonians.
Give me Wisdom of Solomon, the 12th chapter real quick. Because what is that talking about? Give me Wisdom of Solomon. And jump down to so I can 13 and give me 11.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber,
see that?
after he have sawn down a tree.
A what?
A tree, sawn down a tree.
Come on.
Meat for this purpose.
Meat for the purpose.
Meat for the purpose.
Give me 8, Mark 8, 20, 24, 27. So one more time on that, brother.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, and verse 11. So like it says, now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meat for the purpose.
Yeah.
Meat for the purpose.
This is Mark 8 and 24. It says, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. All right, go ahead. So so those trees, what this really alluding to is men the Lord picking out for a purpose. You see what I'm saying? So that timber is talking about men. That was all similitude. Solomon was like, I want timber. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And taking off all the bark skillfully round about. And have wrought and handsomely. And made a vessel.
And that's doing what? That's give me Romans 12 and 7. Because that's what the Lord is. We're just gonna run through it by the Spirit. Because we got scriptures lined up, but this is by the Spirit right now. Give me Romans 12 and start at 1.
All right. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies.
Your what?
Your bodies.
Whose bodies?
Your bodies.
See that?
A living sacrifice.
A living sacrifice. See that? So that's what's on the table. You see? The altar, the temple. You laid yourself on the line for use. You know? But go ahead, because I hate the point. Come on.
Holy, acceptable unto the Most High.
Come on.
Which is your reasonable service.
Come on.
And be not conformed to this world.
And be not conformed to this world. Come on.
But be ye transformed.
Be ye transformed. Like that tree having a bark stripped off. See that? Come on.
By the renewing of your mind.
See that?
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
So these are stones being made right. You see that? Because you got certain stones that don't fit in place because they're not right. You know? Because really, when you think about it, most stones they chiseled to become that form that they need to build that house. You see what I'm saying? So when you chisel and you chipping off parts you don't need. One more time, that Wisdom of Solomon. 13,
11. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree.
And who's writing this? Solomon.
Solomon,
who was a carpenter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now a carpenter that falleth timber after he have sawn down a tree.
Now a carpenter. When what?
After he have sawn down a tree.
Who have sawn down?
He have sawn down a tree, meat for the purpose.
Now this is Matthew 13:55. Is not this the I'm gonna jump up real quick. This is 20. I'm gonna start at 53. It says, and it came to pass that when Yahushua had finished these parables, he departed thence, and when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue. And so much they were astonished and said, whence had this man this wisdom and this wisdom, man? It says, in these mighty works. And you know what's funny about it? No, it was said that no one was going to be wiser than Solomon. You see that? So how could they be tripping on his wisdom and they had an ancestor known as Solomon? See that? So he had to be Solomon, because the Lord ain't gonna cut himself. When you thought Solomon couldn't get any wiser, basically, it says, in these mighty works, is not this the carpenter's son? Now the thing with it, when you know the customs of how things work, especially in the ancient times, young men usually take up their father's work. You know what I'm saying? So Yahushua, he was a carpenter. He did carpentry.
Mark, I believe it says it clearly.
Yeah, it do say it clearly. If you can find it, bring it up.
I'm there.
Go ahead.
This is Mark chapter 6:2. It says,
it actually said, yep.
And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, from whence has this man these things? Verse 3, it says, is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James? That's it.
Yep. So yeah, but that just prove it. You know what I'm saying? You usually just take up your father's stead. That's how it usually goes. You're not finna, because that's a family business. You know what I'm saying? If your pops own the shop, who usually takes it over? His son. You know what I'm saying? And they continue the family business. That's how it goes. So that just proved that point of me even saying that. But, that to tell you right there clear. But anyway, it says, it's not this the carpenter's son, is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas. So yeah, man, Yahushua is that it's just funny because he's talking about the carpenter right here, and this is Solomon talking. He said, when the carpenter fell at timber. You see? Really, he's talking about himself, in a sense. He was just a king, so he ain't had to do it himself. You see what I'm saying? Because you was fell at timber, Solomon. See that? Right. Come on.
So, Wisdom of Solomon 13:11. Now a carpenter that fell at timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meat for the purpose.
Yep. After who has sawn down?
After he has sawn down a tree.
Yep.
Meat for the purpose.
Yep. Give me Matthew 3 real quick. Matthew 3 and I think 6.
6.
Yeah.
And we're baptized with him.
I want the axe to the roots.
Verse 10.
Verse 10, you said? God. This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 10. It says, and now also the axe is laid unto the foot, unto the root of the tree.
Jump to, let me see real quick. Let's see. Jump to because this is John talking. Go ahead and give me verse 1 real quick.
This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 1. In those days came John the Baptist preaching in the wilderness of Judea. Keep on going. And saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Now, what's in the kingdom? A temple, man. You see what I'm saying? A dedicated place. Come on.
For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness. Prepare ye the way of the Lord.
The 40th chapter, Isaiah. Come on.
Make his path straight.
Yeah, and the way of the Lord. Talking about Yahweh Shah, that carpenter. Now, this that same temple we going into. That's what you're going to find in the kingdom. Was not Solomon the king? You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah didn't even come yet. But that was a kingdom nonetheless. You see what I'm saying? And what they have there? They was building a dedicated place, a.k.a. the temple. That was the first temple. Now go ahead and jump to verse 7.
Matthew chapter 3, verse 7, it says, but when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth, therefore, fruits, meet for repentance.
He's like, you don't know what's getting ready to happen. You know what I'm saying? You need to get it together. You see? And then that goes into the whole point of having that bark, why the bark is being, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you, that God is able of these stones,
Of these what?
Of these stones,
Come on.
to raise up children unto Abraham.
So there you go, man. Go ahead.
And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees.
There go the trees. Of the what?
The root of the trees.
There you go. See that?
Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down.
Yeah, and it's talking about men. You see? You have a purpose. The Lord's trying to use you for a particular purpose. If you ain't doing that, you can't be you can't be used. You're not gonna be used for the temple. You see what I'm saying? Because we compare it to trees. These are all the things you're gonna find the temple being made of. Trees, stones. That's what the Israelite men consist of, man. We compare it to stones and trees. See that? But the tree gotta be dealt with a certain way. You go ahead and jump back to where you was last reading.
So 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 9. So he built the house and finished it and covered the house with beams and boards of cedar.
No, you wasn't there. You was in Wisdom of Solomon.
Go back to it. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13, verse 11. It says, now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose.
Yeah, slow down. So the carpenter is going in your house shop, man. And he's the same trees. This is the same process that was used to build the first temple. So the Lord is pretty much was giving similitude on how it was going to happen this time. You see, the Lord was going to actually take men, because men is compared to trees, and he was going to use Yahweh Shah, because Yahweh Shah is in the stead of Solomon. He is Solomon. You see that? And he's going to bring forth men, and you know, pretty much chisel them, man. You know, that's why you don't just come in this truth. You actually got to go through a process, man. And if you're not, which is, you know, you refined. You see what I'm saying? Your bark is shaved off. You're conformed. You're transformed.
Try.
You know what I'm saying? You have to. The reason being for all of this, because you're being made perfect to you know, make this beautiful temple, which is the third temple. In which the Lord will live in perfectly forevermore. You know, you got it.
God. Wisdom of Solomon 13:11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taken off all the bark skillfully round about.
Yeah, skillfully. Come on.
And have wrought it handsomely.
Yeah, he wrought it handsomely. meaning made perfect, meaning made, and you know, matter of fact, give me Isaiah 32 and jump to 12, I believe it is. 32 and matter of fact, give me chapter 4, Isaiah 4. You know what? I think I know. This is 4 and yep. Give me 2. Come on.
This is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2.
Start at 1.
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1.
Come on.
And in that day,
Come on.
7 women shall take hold of one man.
One what?
One man.
Come on.
Saying,
yep.
We will eat our own bread.
Come on.
And wear our own apparel.
Come on. Ain't the point. Come on.
Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
You're talking about the man. Come on.
In that day.
In what day?
In that day.
In that day. Come on.
Shall the branch.
Shall the what?
The branch.
See that? What is a branch? A tree. You see what I'm saying? What is a branch of a tree? Come on.
In that day shall the branch of the Lord Yahweh be beautiful.
It's talking about the men. You see that? That's why he said handsomely. See that? Because they're going to be complete. They're going to went through their process. You know? So this ain't some regular shit. This some regular stuff, man. It's real. You know? This is not some damn entertainment crap that you just, like, this is real. Because think about it. You got millions of red stone bricks. You see what I'm saying? But you only have a certain few that was used to build that house. Where the rest of them at? They weren't used. Wrong place, wrong time, probably didn't come out right. You see what I'm saying? Or they didn't even get a chance. So that's the handsome part. Let's prove it. Give me John 15. St. John 15.
From the top.
Give me 15 and you can start yep, go ahead. 2.
St. John chapter 15, verse 2.
Just start at 1. That's cool.
St. John chapter 15, verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away.
See that? And that goes into the, you know, you ain't having that purpose. He you know, a carpenter felled timber and he makes it for a purpose. Go ahead.
And every branch that beareth fruit.
Yep. So it's talking about men. Come on.
He purgeth it that it may bring forth more fruit.
Yeah. Now give me verse 5.
St. John chapter 15, verse 5. It says, I am the vine, ye are the branches.
Come on, man. See that? So in that day shall the branches be beautiful, man. I think the women taking hold to them because they went through their process. They've been hewn down they've been sawn down by the carpenter, Yahweh Shah, and he dealt with them and made them perfect. So they could be used to be put right in place. You see what I'm saying? For this third temple, which the Lord will dwell in. And that's really why they're going to want to deal with you, because the Lord is dwelling with you. You see? You got perfect stone he going to use. And every man individually, collectively going to come together and make, you see? Go ahead.
He that abideth in me, and I in him.
See that?
There
it is. He that abideth in me and I in him. Because what is the, you know, the temple going to consist of? Tree. See that? And stone. Which were both of them. So that's just really, you know, get it out the way. Just making it that simple. You can go ahead and drop that. Go ahead and go back to Wisdom of Solomon one more time.
Come.
Yep.
This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13, verse 11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taken off all the bark skillfully round about, and have wrought it handsomely.
Yeah, because he says in verse 2, St. John 15:2, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth much fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. See that? One more time on that.
From the top.
Yeah, it's cool.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and 11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose.
And sawn down meaning, if I go and saw a tree down, what does that mean? I went and picked that tree.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this is St. John 7 and go ahead and finish on that real quick.
I'll read from the top. Wisdom of Solomon 13 and 11. It says, now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose, and taken off all the bark skillfully round about, and have wrought it handsomely, and made a vessel thereof fit for the service of man's life.
Okay, I was already there. This is St. John 15 and 16. St. John 15 and 16. It says, ye have not chosen, see that? Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. The tree don't pick you when you go cut it down. You see what I'm saying? You pick the tree. I want this one. Exactly. And you saw it down. So that's what that's talking about, man. You see? And ordain you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. You see? And it says that whatsoever ye ask of the Father in my name, he shall give it to you. You got it. And then also the two that's going to the Esau, but it's go ahead.
Just read this one again from the top. So
yeah, this is the verse. It's cool.
So Wisdom of Solomon 13 11. Now a carpenter that felleth timber, after he have sawn down a tree, meet for the purpose.
See, good, meaning good. Right. See that? Come on.
And taking off.
And what's the purpose? They trying to build the temple.
Right.
Come on.
And taking off.
I want that man right there. He gonna help this. You know what I'm saying? Follow all these guys together. They gonna, you know what I'm saying? Israel will be back. Come on.
And taking off all the bark skillfully.
The Lord will be able to do what he do. The Lord can't dwell in no nigga. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna bring forth spiritual power and all this other stuff? Come on, man.
And taking off all the bark skillfully round about.
A jealous, envious man. The Lord ain't dealing with niggas like that, man. You see what I'm saying? Murderers, thieves, adultery. He can't. You see him? He can't bring forth nothing. So those men would not be meet for the purpose. The Lord. That's why the Lord dwells within us. Come on.
And hath wrought it handsomely. And made a vessel thereof fit. For the service of man's life.
Yeah, we're vessels, man. You see what I'm saying? We hold the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because a vessel is, if you look the word up, it goes into a container. And a container is used to hold things. What are you holding? You holding this doctrine, man. You holding this wine. Because when you go back into that word altar, it says it's the table for the wine and the bread. The wine ain't just sitting on top of the table. It's inside of the vessel on top of the table, on top of the altar. See that? So we like everything basically. You know what I'm saying? You got men set up in certain lots, all these different type of things. So that's what the third temple really just going into. You go ahead and go back to the.
I got the definition of vessel. If you want,
it's cool. Yeah, did a lesson on this. So it says, there's a particular scripture that I want to just go ahead and continue on this, but, you know, it's all good. Because nonetheless, the history, matter of fact, go ahead and go to 1 Kings 6. and jump to 9.
All right.
Come on.
This is 1 Kings chapter 6, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
So he built the house
Mm-hmm.
and finished it.
Yep.
And covered the house with beams
Yep.
and boards of cedar.
Yep.
And then he built chambers
Mm-hmm.
against all the house,
Mm-hmm.
5 cubits high.
Yep.
And they rested on the house with timber of cedar.
And chambers is like little places you can dwell in. They're like guest houses almost. You see what I'm saying? Like you know. Go ahead.
And the word of the Lord Yahweh came to Solomon, saying, concerning this house, which thou art in building, if thou wilt walk in my statutes and execute my judgments.
Now listen, that's a good point. If he said if, come on.
If thou wilt walk in my statutes and execute my judgments and keep all my commandments to walk in them, then
come on,
will I perform my word with thee.
See that? Did Solomon do that? Let's get this real quick. This is now this is serious. Did Solomon do that? Matter of fact, continue real quick.
Then will I perform my word with thee, which I spake unto David, thy father. And I will dwell among the children of Israel.
He said then one more time.
Then will I perform my word
with thee.
And
that was what? You're going to sit upon your David's throne. You're going to be in his stead. The sure mercies of David. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Then will I perform my word with thee, which I spake unto David, thy father.
That's what he told him. And he told David, matter of fact, let me get try this real quick. Jump to 2 Samuel 7. And 2 Samuel 7 and 13. Go ahead.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse 13. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
Matter of fact, give me because that's the point. But just go to this is the point right here. This what makes it critical about why this relevant, why all the scriptures we just read relevant. This right here. This ain't the verse, but it's going to Latinos, Native American Indians, West Ham, from Samson, the different judges. Go ahead.
And have caused thee to rest from all thy enemies.
The war of Barak, come on.
Also, the Lord telleth thee that he make thee an house. And when thy days be fulfilled,
he said, rest from my enemies. You see? He said, have caused thee to rest from all thy enemies. He's still ruled. You see what I'm saying? So-called Chinese man people still talking about Israelites dead. So that ain't happened yet, man. Something going on with that over there. Is it on your phone or is that?
No,
on the phone?
It gotta be.
Alright, we good. Let's keep rolling.
Come.
We good. We got this. If you on that one, you can hear you. If something happened on that one, just come to the Fisher for your house shop. Fisher Shari at the house shop. Go ahead.
It's a lot. I gotta find what it is.
11.
Come.
7-11.
2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people, Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thy enemies,
it ain't happening. Come on.
Also, the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house.
Well, Solomon did, because he's talking to Solomon. So it's like he makes him say that right. Go ahead.
And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee.
Well, this is David. He's not talking to Solomon. It's like it. Go ahead.
I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. And I will establish.
That's that house. Come on.
And I will establish his kingdom.
So you're going to establish it. Real quick, get that word established. Go ahead. But this is no. Go ahead. It's gonna give it to you in the scripture. Come on.
He shall build a house for my name.
Who is it talking about? Solomon. Come on.
And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
Now, how the hell is how?
Right.
Solomon gone.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why this is relevant, man. Because what's a part of everything he just said? The temple. You see what I'm saying? Real quick. Go ahead.
This is established. It says, set up on a firm or permanent basis. Initiate or bring about.
So when you establish something, it's permanent, man. You see that? But it went on to it went on to affirm that clearly. So Houston, we have a problem. All right. Now, real quick, this is we're gonna hold off on that one. Reread that one more time, bro.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 13. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
See that? So who? That's talking about Solomon being in the stead of David, because those are the sure mercies of David. We need to get this scripture real quick. But look, that went on to still get fulfilled in Yahushua. Give me John 2 and 9 real quick. It says, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. See what I'm saying? Give me, as soon as you get it, brother, go ahead.
This is John chapter 2, verse 9. It says, when the ruler of the feast had tested the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew. The governor of the feast, John chapter 2 and 9.
2 and 19.
It's a lot. This is St. John chapter 2, verse 19.
Let me see. Started, 16. Go ahead.
St. John chapter 2, verse 16.
Come on.
And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence.
Yep.
Make not my father's house.
My father's what?
My father's house.
This is the temple. Come on.
And house of merchandise.
Come on.
And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house have eaten me up.
Come on.
Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign shewest thou unto us,
Come on.
seeing thou doest these things?
Come on.
Yahushua answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.
See that? So the temple went on and got destroyed. Come on.
Then said the Jews, 46 years was the temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days?
See that?
But he spake of the temple of his body.
See that? Why? See? Why? Real quick. Scriptures. Jump back to the 1 Kings, the 2 Samuel 7.
Go ahead, read.
Yeah, you got it.
2 Samuel chapter 7, 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore, as before time.
He's talking to David. Come on.
And as since the time that I am commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also the Lord telleth thee that he will make thee an house. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers.
I will, when David passed, go ahead.
I will set up thy seed after thee,
Come on.
which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish.
He's talking about his descendants. Go ahead.
And I will establish his kingdom.
Yep. Really, he's talking about Solomon. See that? But he can't be talking about Solomon. Why? Come on.
He shall build an house for my name.
Ultimately, come on.
And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
See that? Now watch this. Go back to where you were just at, St. John 2.
Come on. Pick up or go back.
Go back to St. John 2 and start 16.
I kind of like pick up where I left off.
No.
Come. St. John chapter 2 verse 16. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house.
My father's what?
My father's house.
Come on.
And house of merchandise.
Come on.
And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up.
See that? Come on.
Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign shewest thou unto us, seeing that thou doest these things? Yahushua answered and said unto them, destroy this temple.
Destroy this temple? Come on.
Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.
Yeah, he was talking about himself. You see what I'm saying? But that was similar to, that was relating to the temple of Solomon. Why? Because Yahweh out of the temple too. This is Psalms 118. And I'm going to start at verse. I'm going to start at 20. This gate of the Lord into which, because remember we was talking about the doors, man. You see what I'm saying? Because you can go get that in St. John. The Lord said, I am the door, man. You see what I'm saying? AKA gate. You see? It says, this gate of the Lord Yahweh into which the righteous shall enter. That's going in Isaiah. It's talking about Yahushua. Because he's of the temple.
I got that door.
Go ahead.
This is John chapter 10, verse 7. Then said Yahushua unto them again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
You see that? One more time.
Time. This is St. John chapter 10 and 7. Then said Yahushua unto them again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep.
Yeah. See that? So real quick, I want to get the one. Remember that door scripture we read earlier since we going into it? If you could get that, we give me verse 8. Give me first Kings 6, and I got it. 1 Kings 6 and 2. And the house which the king Solomon built for the Lord Yahweh, the length thereof was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits, and the height thereof 30 cubits. And it says, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, in the porch before the temple of the house, 20 cubits was the width thereof, and the breadth according to the breadth of the house, and 10 cubits was the breadth thereof before the house. And jumping down to verse 7, and the house, when it was in building, was built of stone. So that's the men that the Lord, picking out. Just it's the same as the trees, man. Certain stones he chose out. You're gonna chisel those stones down so they can fit properly in place. Everything gotta go. Everything gotta be able to mesh with each other. You see what I'm saying? It says, and the house, when it was in building, was built of stone, made ready before it was brought thither. Give me 1 Peter 2 and 5 real quick. Real quick, 1 Peter 2 and 5. So it says, and the house, when it was in building, talking about the temple, was built of stone. Got it?
1 Peter chapter 2 and 5.
Come on.
Ye also, as lively stones, are built up spiritually.
Let me see that.
Built up a spiritual house.
Start at 2. Come on.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tested that.
Start at 1. Come on.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1.
Come on. It's a little bit all over the place, but you're going to see that it's talking about, the men in Yahushua. That's the third temple. Come on.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile, and hypocrisies.
See, you're supposed to put all that off. That's you removing that bark. That's you being transformed. Because that's niggas of the world that's like that. That's why he said, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You got hard-headed niggas, man. You got niggas that think, you got people that think it's actually talking about stones. Nah, it's really men that's going to be used that can understand how they need to be with the other men that understand they need to be, so the Lord can, you see, do what he needs to do. Dwell and show. He's here. But that starts with us first getting right. First, you picking the stones out, you picking the trees out, you choosing them, you cutting them down, and you fixing them up, and you putting them in their place. And then in the meantime, in between time, you probably edit them. Let me shake this one down a little bit more. Let me get this one up out of here. This shit ain't working. You know what I'm saying? It's a project, man. And it's going to be beautiful. That's why he said, in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful. It's just a branch now. You wouldn't think it turned into a baseball bat.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Polished. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2 and 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice.
So we going into the door right now, the gate. Come on.
And all guile.
Come on.
And hypocrisies.
Yep.
And envies. And all evil speakings. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word.
Yeah, get off that bark, man. Understand this is simply what you need to be focused on. Not nothing else. You see what I'm saying? Come on.
That ye may grow thereby.
Come on.
If so be ye have tasted Salak, that the Lord is gracious.
Come on.
To whom coming.
Yeah, you heard the Lord is gracious. That's how you taste. Come on.
To whom coming as unto a living stone.
See, and to whom coming, come on, what?
As unto a living stone.
Yeah, the Lord is coming to deal with those that are alive. They have, alive works, man. They don't have dead works. Dead works is the works of the flesh. You see what I'm saying? They are a nigga that just that say he got faith, but he ain't got no work to go with it. You see what I'm saying? He ain't got no fruit. Lord gonna get rid of you. You see what I'm saying? Because he ain't coming to niggas that got the traits of verse 1. You see that? That's what that's saying. Come on.
It says, disallowed indeed of men.
One more time on it.
Right. 1 Peter chapter 2 and 4. To whom coming as unto a living stone. Disallowed indeed of men, but chosen.
Yeah, he's disallowed indeed of men. Won't nobody want to deal with Yahushua. Because really Yahushua is a living stone too. You see? But look, you're going to put the stones with the stones.
Right.
That's, saying, it's saying both. Go ahead.
It says, but chosen of the Most High and precious.
Because he was chosen like a tree.
Exactly.
You see that? He was chosen like a stone. Come on. Yeah. And what? And precious.
Exactly. And precious.
That's that handsome, that glorious. Yeah. Come on.
Ye also.
Come on.
As lively stones.
As lively stones.
Right.
Because Yahushua is the lively stone. That's why he said the temple thing. You see what I'm saying? He was, because he was really getting at we the temple. You know what I'm saying? Because look, he said that in the midst of kicking everybody out of the house. You see what I'm saying? Look, if you kicking people out of the house, the Lord can't deal with you. You see that? That's what he's telling you. He in the spirit, he was kicking them out. Because the Lord wasn't going to go on to deal with them. Why? Because the Lord is actually dwelling within you. Right. So let me kick you out of the house, of being of the house of God. You ain't going to be in here no more. And if you destroy me, all this in the context of an argument over the temple. Right. He's like, you destroy this temple, I'm going to rebuild it in 3 days. Meaning what? Yahushua will be put to death, raised again, and brought into immortality. You see what I'm saying? Thus, you have the temple forever. Thus, you got 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, being fulfilled. You see that? Now, Yahushua, he the gate. One more time on that verse.
On the door? Or what we just read?
Yeah, go on. Verse 4.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High and precious. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up.
See that?
A spiritual house.
That's the third temple. See that? You can go ahead and jump back. Let me see. See if there's some more on there. Where you at? Go ahead and finish it.
Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices, acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
Yeah, spiritual sacrifice. You make your body a living sacrifice. Because your body is likened unto a stone in the tree. You see what I'm saying? Use me, Lord. Here, put my body in place. You see what I'm saying? For this temple, for this sanctuary. See that? Now jumping back here, this is to prove the gate thing, the door thing. This is that Yahweh Shah was talking about that. He said, if you destroy this temple, he was trying to get them to realize. But he's the door. When you go back to St. John 10:7, it says, Psalms 118:20, this gate of the Lord Yahweh, into which the righteous shall enter, meaning the other lively stones. Right. See what I'm saying? The other men that will be chosen to come in. It says, I will praise thee, for thou hast heard me and art become my salvation. The stone which the builders refused is become the headstone of the corner. Yahweh Shah is the chief stone. He's the chief cornerstone. We're going to tell you that, and we're going to go right back to it, though. You see what I'm saying? And real quick, so the stone which the builders refused is become the headstone. So they was denying Yahweh Shah at that point. And they didn't know he was going to, because why? Yahweh Shah is a stone like everybody else. But they didn't know he was going to become the headstone because he was Yahweh Shah. Right. You know what I'm saying? He was the son. They couldn't receive it. They didn't know it was him the whole time. It says, this is Matthew 21:42 out of his own mouth. It says, Yahweh Shah said unto them, did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner? This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. See that? So there you go. It says, therefore I say unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you. That's why he kicked them out of it, you know what I'm saying? It says, and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits thereof, meaning the 1/3, because it's going to be a difference. They're going to be like a whole other nation. How? Because you got the house of Saul and you got the house of David. See that? Like two different types of people. They all Israelites, but technically they're two different people.
He's kicking up.
Two different nations. This is verse 44. It says, and whosoever shall fall on this stone, meaning be offended in Yahweh shall be broken. But whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. So if the Lord, if you trip up and if you don't get this, you're finished. You see what I'm saying? And if the Lord got to come back and get you, hell, men that bullshit, men that don't get it right, he gonna grind your ass to powder, man. You see that? So either way, is only about getting this. You know what I'm saying? That's what it come down to. And that's what they said, man. They heard this parable, they perceived that he spake of them. See that? So they realized they were stones too, but they weren't lively stones. You know what I'm saying? They sought to lay hands on them. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that, man. Alright, you go ahead and keep going on that.
It's 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High, and precious. Ye,
and we're in that same stead. The men that come in through the gate, the other lively stones. They tell you that, I believe in 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter and the 20th verse. Grab that real quick. This is 2 Corinthians 5 and 20. It says, now we, it's like, now then we are ambassadors for Hamashiach, as though God did beseech you by us. we pray you in Hamashiach's stead. See? Just like Solomon was said to be in David's stead. See that? It says, so we take over everything in Yahushua. You see that? So we the same people. We being refused in the spirit. But really you ain't refusing us. You're refusing Yahushua. And if you're refusing Yahushua, you're ultimately refusing who you think you're about. You see? And that's the Most High himself. It says, be ye reconciled unto God. So yeah, we're in Yahushua's stead. See that? So that's why that's going on saying that like that. Go ahead. Because we all stones. But Yahushua is the chief. He's the chief cornerstone. He's the most important piece. Come on.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5.
And he's the door. Come on.
Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house.
Because you will make, really, if you got swag, you're gonna make a house out of wood and stone, man. You see what I'm saying? Come on.
Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house.
Yep.
And holy priesthood.
Why do you think Jake be stunned? He's like, and then Cameron he said cherry wood cabinets. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's it, man. You know, you got the marble stone. You know what I'm saying? You got the hickory smoked wood cabinets. You got all this type of stuff, man. Come on.
To offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahushua HaMashiach.
Not the shit these walls made out of. This is bullshit. I don't even know what this is. You know what I'm saying? This is cardboard. I don't know what material they make this stuff out of. But the Lord ain't dealing in that crap, man. You know? Because you get vibrations off everything. Come on. We're going to close out in a second. We're going to, because that's pretty much it, man. You know, it's a whole nother direction we could have went, but the Spirit took it a whole nother way. Go ahead.
It says, wherefore also it is contained in the scripture. Yep. Behold, I say in Sion, a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner, and a stone of stumbling, and a rock of offense.
And that's what he was talking about. He's like, if this rock fall on you, if you fall on this rock, you're gonna be broken. But if this rock fall upon you, if this stone fall upon you, you're gonna be, grinded to powder, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Even to them which stumble at the word.
So you don't get the word, and you get offended at something, which is the same, saying the same thing. But you got two types of ways of why you don't get it, or don't receive. Why you don't go on and receive. You got many ways, many reasons. Come on.
Being disobedient.
Yep.
Whereunto also they were appointed.
So they were set up to do that. Because the Lord, that's why he said, you didn't choose me, I chose you. You see that? If just by you not getting chose, the Lord appointed. Like if I only go choose this tree, and I don't choose none of the other ones, I appointed those, but just by default, I appointed those other trees to stay there and never come in. See that? Come on.
It says, but ye are chosen.
See that?
So let me read that again. 1 Peter chapter 2 and 9, it says, but ye are a chosen generation.
Ye are a chosen generation.
A royal priesthood.
Yeah, that's it. That's it on that.
All
right. Now let's go ahead and close this out. Let's go back to the 2 Samuel 7. So that's it, man. That's it.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 7 and 12. The water. It says, and when thy days be fulfilled. Let me go back up though. This is that time. I started 12. That's why I left off. So,
and when thy 13. No, you got it. 12. That's cool. Come on.
And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers,
come on.
I will set up thy seed after thee.
Solomon, come on.
Which shall proceed out of thy bowels. And I will establish his kingdom.
Yeah. Now that means make his kingdom forever. Solomon's kingdom is not forever. Look at us. People don't even know who his people is no more. You know what I'm saying?
They know who he is.
So the Lord, he ain't keep his word. That's the third temple. That's what that's about. Come on.
He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son.
Now give me St. John 3 and 16. Not St. John, give me Matthew. St. Matthew.
Matthew 3 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 16. And Yahushua, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were opened up unto him, and he saw the Spirit of the Most High descending like a dove, and lightning upon him.
Now why?
Lighting upon him.
Come on.
And lo, a voice from heaven saying,
A what?
A voice from heaven
Doing what?
saying,
Come on.
This is my beloved son.
Who?
My beloved son.
No what?
This
Yep.
is my beloved son,
There you go. See that? Come on.
in whom I am well pleased.
Now jump back.
Con.
See that? So that's it, man. You know, if you can receive it or not, that's it. And then you don't get nothing else. So we wait on that third temple to be rebuilt. That means your house. If that's your house shop. Your house shop got to come rebuild that third temple, but you seeing it right before your eyes, man. That's why in that day 7 women gonna take hold of one man, and in that day the branch gonna be glorious, man. Because the men is likened unto his true men is likened unto trees and stone, man. All type of precious stone, all type of desirable tree. You see what I'm saying? In that day shall the branch of the Lord be glorious, because he gonna deck it out. See that? Like this house was decked out. And went on telling you how Solomon, when he was building the first one, Solomon himself, when he was building the first one, it was overlaid with gold and all type of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the men. And he already said he's gonna make a man more precious to find gold. You see what I'm saying? That's showing you.
Right.
That's Isaiah the 13th chapter. Come on.
2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
He shall build an house for my name,
Mm-hmm.
and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
Mm-hmm.
I will be his father, and he shall be my son.
Mm-hmm. There you go. See that? Yahushua, come on.
If he commit iniquity,
If he commit iniquity, come on.
I will chasten him
Mm-hmm.
with the rod of men,
Yep. And that's what happened. Come on.
and with the stripes of children, with the stripes of the children of men.
See? And that's the whip. That's why Yahushua was getting his ass whipped. You see what I'm saying? Because when you go back, we got to go back to that real quick. They said when he was making an oath, when he was telling them if you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and go back. He said if he said if you walk in my commandments. It's 6 and 12. Come on.
1 Kings chapter 6, verse 12. It says concerning this house,
Start at 11.
1 Kings chapter 6 and 11.
Come on.
And the word of the Lord came to Solomon, saying, concerning this house, which thou art in building, if thou wilt walk in my statutes, and execute my judgments, and keep all my commandments to walk in them, then will I...
Then, see that? He said, if concerning this house which thou art in building, if thou will walk in my statutes and execute my judgments, go ahead.
and keep all my commandments to walk in them,
Mm-hmm.
then will I perform my word
Mm-hmm.
with thee,
See that?
which I...
Which is everything we just read. Establish your throne forever. You see what I'm saying? Establish your kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And he said, he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. You see that? If he commit iniquity, you see that? So yeah, if he was going to establish Solomon's kingdom, and he was going to establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now, how would that be if he wasn't immortal? You see what I'm saying? But really, the throne is, like I said, that's the inheritance. that's passed down. You know what I'm saying? The throne is passed down. That's there in the family. You know? But he said, forever. We don't got it right now. The Israelites don't got it. You see that? Because Solomon not around. See it? He said that to Solomon.
Exactly.
And then, you know, because we had to go into the throne of David one day, but, you know, that's pretty much that. Now, read that verse one more time, brother.
All right. 1 Kings chapter 6 and 11. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came to Solomon, saying, concerning this house,
concerning this house, come on,
which thou art in building, if thou will walk in my statutes and execute my judgments,
come on,
and
this is critical to know, come on,
and keep all my commandments to walk in them.
He said, if, come on,
then,
come on,
will I perform my word with thee.
This is all those things. Now, did Solomon do that? This is 1 Kings 11 and 1. But King Solomon, I'm gonna start at 3. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. It says, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart from after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. So that was it, man. He was finished. He was done. So did he perform it? No. That's what the hell happened. King Solomon. After that, after him, it was over with. You had righteous kings be raised up, you know, in between here and there, but that shit was over with, man. It was done. Rehoboam and then Jeroboam got set up. That's when the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom thing was created. Jake got the beefing. You know what I'm saying? Shit's crazy. But yeah, that's what happened. Now, when you go back to that first, 2 Samuel 7 and 14, he said, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. That went on to be said to Yahushua, this is my son, because Solomon came back. He said, if he commit iniquity, Yahushua didn't commit iniquity, but he got his ass whooped for sin. It says, if he commit iniquity, he's talking about Solomon. He said, I will chasten him with the rod of men. And with what? And with the stripes of the children of men. You see what I'm saying? Because you got the sons of man, the sons of perdition, and you got the sons of God. So the sons of men is all the other heathen. Then you got the sons of perdition, which is Esau, and then you got the sons of God, which is really us. You know what I'm saying? It's the angels in us. But really, you know what I'm saying? The Israelite saints, the Israelites are angels on earth, man. Specifically the prophets. But anyway, it says to further, you know, establish that. But it says he was gonna be you know, chastened if he committed iniquity. All that happened to Yahushua, but he didn't commit iniquity. So reincarnation gotta be real. And if he was the one that had said to him, he is my son, and he was talking about rebuilding the temple forever. Go ahead and go back to that. St. John 2:19. Forever, he had to be Solomon, which is why he got, you see what I'm saying? What he got. Yahushua was Solomon. You know, and it's not a lesson proving Yahushua was Solomon, but you know, you can receive a little bit of it in this. Come on.
It's St. John chapter 2, verse 19. Yahushua answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Then said the Jews,
because he was telling them, y'all destroying this temple. And the temple kept being destroyed anyway. Come on.
Then said the Jews,
come on.
46 years was this temple in building. And wilt thou rear it up in 3 days?
They thinking he, see, that's why he said it. Because they talking about that temple.
Right.
But he like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. The temple. Yeah, me. You, us. Not you, but, you know, that's what he's saying. How was slick? Come on.
It says, but he spake of the temple of his body. When therefore he was risen from the dead, his disciples remembered that he said this unto them. And they believed the scripture and the word which Yahushua had said.
Yep. That's it. Give me 1 Corinthians 3:16 real quick. They ain't know what the hell was going on, man. Go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of the Most High,
which is what they was doing,
him shall the Most High destroy.
That's why Yahushua got the whooping ass. Come on.
For the temple of the Most High is holy.
Set apart, and ain't with all that crap. It's for one thing. Come on.
Which temple ye are.
Yep. It's for what it's designated to be for. You know? So that's it. Which temple ye are. So that's why Yahushua said that. He's like, yeah. You know, I'm going to rebuild it. And ultimately, this one's going to be forever. Because that's what was said that I was supposed to do. I'm Solomon. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be forever. Now, what does he mean? We're going to be immortal. How the Lord going to dwell? The Lord is immortal, so he can't dwell in something mortal. See that? So it was set up from the beginning that this had to be. So the third temple was really nothing more than immortality and perfection, man. To be, you know, a perfect representation of the Lord. How you gonna really represent the Lord in a building? With a building, you can't. But you can do it with people that, you know what I'm saying, that's literally of his creation, that's made in the image of God. You see what I'm saying? You can do it then, but you can't do it the other way. So yeah, that was pretty much it. It says, I will be his father, 2 Samuel 7:14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, did that happen to Solomon? No. That's why, but Solomon went off. But he didn't do that. That's why when Yahushua came, Solomon, that's when he got it. That's what happened. So, because it tells you in the scriptures, the Lord died for his own sins. When the hell the Lord sinned? See that? So it says, matter of fact, let me go ahead and grab that. You can pick up where I left off. Verse 15.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 15. But my mercy shall not depart away from him.
Yeah, they ain't going to depart away. Yeah, because he had mercy.
Right.
See that? He whooped his ass and he brought him back. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, Yahushua put to death and he brought him back. Come on.
As I took it from Saul.
Yep. This is Hebrew. Come on. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and prove that. So yeah, because Solomon didn't get punished, but Yahushua did because he was Solomon, man. So reincarnation is 100% real, man. You know, on a further level. This is Hebrews in the 7th chapter. Which is where this is really heavily talked about. This is dealing with sacrifice and the priesthood and all that. This whole book pretty much. Well, during certain chapters. But anyway, this is Hebrews 7 and I'm going to start at verse 6. For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than heavens, who needed not. So we're talking about Yahushua. Yahushua is that priest. Give me Hebrews 7:14 real quick. Oh, I got it. I'm already here. Verse 14, it says, for it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood, but he's a priest.
See what I'm saying? So verse 27, 26, for such an high priest, he's a high priest, became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens, who needed not daily as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself. So it's telling you he has sin, because he's a high priest. The only difference is it's telling you that he didn't have to do it daily. He offered up a sacrifice one time for his own sins and for the other people, because that's what the high priest will have to do. They have to offer up sacrifice sin. They have to offer up a sacrifice for themselves and for the Israelites that were in the priesthood office, that were Levites and one priest. That's what priests will have to do. High priests. They can offer up a sin for themselves and others. Daily. He didn't have to do that like that. He did it once, meaning he had sin. When? It just said he was perfect. He was Solomon. See that? Solomon never got that iniquity. He never got that recompense for that iniquity. So that's when he got the rod of men, and he put upon him, and he got the damn stripes. You know? So there you go, man. So Solomon never got that temple established forever. He never got that kingdom established forever, nor that throne. He never got that throne established, nor that kingdom established forever. Because he passed. You see what I'm saying? But that word has to be kept to David. It was a promise. That's how you get the third temple. He's going to come back through Solomon, and the only way he will be able to fulfill that is if the realization of what the Lord is actually dealing with the whole time comes out. And that's how we are the temple. You see? But we can't perish. But if we perish, right, even if he like, okay, I'm the temple, how can he establish it forever? How can he fulfill those words? He would have to become immortal. And he's not the only Israelite, because the throne is to all the Israelites. That's why you got the joint heir thing. So he's set up, just like Solomon was, to pick everything he wants. You see what I'm saying? The Lord wants this, I want this, I want that, I want that. This for the Lord. Meaning men. And cast off what he don't. And get everything edited how he wanted. Which is also why he was a carpenter. You see that? Thus, that's the only way that the third temple will be built up. And then third represent completion. This the last temple. And shit ain't nothing happening to this one no more. So ultimately, the third temple was Yahushua and the elect Israelites. Because there's other women too, because men and women are one body, one flesh. If you can receive that, which is how they would be, involved. But it do tell you in Revelation that the Lord's tabernacle was with men. You see what I'm saying? So it's initially the men. But that's how the women have their end on it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they gonna take hold of one man that day. You see what I'm saying? Because they gonna get it. The rest of you niggas finished, man. That's pretty much it. And it's a little bit more on that. You still there? And we're gonna go ahead and close that out. That'll be it.
2 Samuel.
Yep.
Yeah,
7 and 15 you started.
2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
But my mercy shall not depart away from him.
That's why he rose Yahushua back up. Come on.
As I took it from Saul.
See it? And Saul is the other niggas.
Right.
The other Israelites. The other nation. Come on.
Whom I put away before thee.
Mm-hmm.
And thine house and thy kingdom.
And how did he did that through the Pharisees.
Right.
Continuously.
God.
See that? It's like how he's continuing to build it through us. Now that Yahushua is no longer here. Because we're in his stead. We're being refused. By who? The other nation. Mm-hmm. Here it is. Y'all trying to build the nation, but y'all despising us.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want nothing to do with us. Niggas, the leaders that want to build the nation, black excellence and all that shit. They don't want nothing to do with us. Same thing all over again. We got the answers, not y'all. Go ahead.
In thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever.
Yep.
Before thee.
See that? So in thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. See that? Go ahead. Last verse.
According to all these words.
What words?
These words.
Come on.
And according to all this vision.
Mm-hmm.
So did Nathan speak unto David.
See that? Give me first. Let me get one more. Give me Matthew 5:17.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
It says, think not that I am come to destroy the law
Mm-hmm.
or the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
I am not come to destroy.
See that? Because Nathan was one. Come on.
But to fulfill.
There it is. How? You see? That was a prophecy given to David through Nathan. That got to be fulfilled. Where the hell Solomon at? He waiting on him, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we get it. You know? Because that throne is to all the seed of David, man. That's the house of David. That's the elect, the 1/3. That's why it's written you joint heirs with Yahushua. We see if the brother got something on the comment board, and that'll be it. Because that mother's God, so I guess the Lord don't want none of that coming out, so. You check and see. Okay, so let me see. I don't think it's gonna work on my end.
I got you right.
Yeah, that gonna be it after this.
Con, I got it.
You got something? Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 2 and 20.
Yeah.
Because it's split up. And make sure I got the right part. It's Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20. It says, and are built upon the foundations of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua Hamashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building.
Where you at?
Ephesians chapter 2.
Yeah, this shit broke up crazy. Yeah, I don't know which one to go first. Okay. Yeah, you got it. Go ahead.
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20, it says, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua Hamashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly frameth together